Today we're going to talk about 3 things that you can do to help stretch your dollar. Some of you that keep up with economics know that currently our inflation rate in the United States is 2%. So as you know, that means that for every dollar you spend this year, you're going to spend $1.02 to buy the same thing next year. So inflation rates are rising and American incomes are not necessarily following suit. So what do we do then? Well, we're going to talk about what to do. My name is Carrie Esho, if we've never met. My purpose in life is to help people with their personal finances. I've been in the industry for 20 years and I started my own company so I could do videos like this and share my experiences with you. So a dollar, like I was telling you earlier, a dollar being worth less next year than it is today. It's called purchasing power, or the loss of purchasing power. So that's just basically how much of a good or service you can buy with a unit of currency. So if you have, let's say, a dollar in New York is not going to get you as much power to purchase something as a dollar in Alabama, say. So you have the difference in purchasing power. So what can we do to bridge the gap? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. So I have a couple of hacks on how to make your dollar stretch further and how to get more for your money. So if we have any of these things that I can do, and cost of living, if you want to tell me where you live, I will tell you what the cost of living in your area is so that you can kind of, know where you stand up against other people in other states. So let me begin by telling you a little something, one of my favorite little things here. All right, now, if you have a high deductible insurance plan, those are becoming more and more popular these days just because of rising health insurance costs. All right, well, if you do have a high deductible, I know for us, we do, and so I have found these little guys to be quite handy. This is not any personally identifiable information. These come actually probably in the mail, and you probably think that they're junk, and you probably throw them away if you're like me. But then one time, one of my doctors said, no, use that. So what you can do is you can use this card, or you can use the app. And I'll put a link to the GoodRx app after I'm done with the video. So what we have is this GoodRx app. And so what it does is it'll show you, you enter in your prescriptions, and it'll show you how much that particular prescription costs at several different pharmacies. So that way you can know, okay, based on the cash price, this is cash price, has, not with your insurance, but then it'll show you what the cash price is, and then you can compare that with what your insurance plan would pay. So if you're like me, though, let's just assume that you are, then you'd be paying, looking at the cash price, because I would always just pay whatever the insurance rate was, and then I found out about the GoodRx, and it actually saves me money. It was incredible. I don't have the figure off the top of my head, but it was like $100 a month, somewhere in that range that it was saving me. So anyhow, so number one, you have that GoodRx. So you can pay cash and pay less than what your insurance would pay on your prescription if you have a high deductible plan. So that's like subpart 1. So number 2, I wanted to give you an example so that you could really see how this is going to save you money. So let's say that you are diabetic and you are on metformin, okay? And so I did an example of a prescription that was 1,000 milligrams twice a day. So, so that would be 60 tablets, which is typically, I believe, a month's supply. So it will tell you, I'm reading right off of it. Walmart is $4. Walgreens is $5 if you're a member. Costco, if you're a member, is $8.30. Kroger is $8.48. Albertsons is not on this one. Costco is $8.30. Oh, Albertsons is $8.75. Safeway is also $8.75. And Target is $17.54. CVS is $17.54. I used to work for a company who made you use CVS Pharmacy as your pharmacy. So that's how this began to save me money, is because each time I would get a prescription filled, I'd have to go there. Well, then I realized there are other pharmacies in the area. It just never occurred to me that going to a different pharmacy would have a lower amount per prescription. So you have, let's say, this metformin that I was telling you about. So you could look at it and say, okay, maybe you always go to Target and you're paying $17.54 for that. Well, you start looking around and you see, okay, well, Kroger is $8.48. So automatically, boom, right there, you've got a $10 a month savings. Well, little did you know that some pharmacies, and I know I'm always talking about Publix, but some pharmacies, such as Publix, will give some prescriptions out for free. So Publix is one of them that will give you metformin for free, so long as you have a prescription. So right there, if you're going to Target and you're filling your metformin for $17 a month, I just saved you $17 a month with that tip. Okay, so some of you maybe aren't even having to pay cash, and maybe your insurance is paying everything, and good on you. But if you're paying cash, that GoodRx app is wonderful. Highly recommend it. So that leads me then to my second point. The second point is using fuel rewards. So bear with me. It's not as generic as it sounds. So now Kroger is a brand in our region, but another one, I'm sorry, it's a family of stores that includes Fred Meyer's. If you're from the Pacific Northwest, you know Fred Meyer's. If you're from Mountain West region, you know Smith's and City Market, and now there's another one. But anyhow, so you have the fuel rewards. So every dollar that you spend at the grocery store, they give you a point. So when you get 100 points, they give you $10 off your gas. And so that's 10 cents a gallon. Did I say $100 off your gas? Anyways, it's 10 cents a gallon for 100 points. And then, so what you do then, if you buy gift cards at Kroger, they'll give you double the points. So let's say you go to Starbucks. Well, you buy a Starbucks card before you go to Starbucks, and then if you get your gift card, they'll give you twice as many points. So if you buy a $15 gift card to Starbucks, then they'll give you 30 fuel points. So the more fuel points you have, then the more you can get off. They'll give you up to $1 a gallon off. So that is one thing. Now, another part of the fuel rewards is that with that whole family, Kroger, Smith's, Fred Meyer's, that whole family, they will, that fuel card can also be redeemed at a Shell station. So it doesn't just have to be at participating Shell stations. So it doesn't just have to be at the store. So if you're like, well, my store doesn't have gas, well, that's okay, because they found a workaround for you. Now, I'm not talking about Publix, but every now and again they have $10 off of a $50 Shell card if you buy it at Publix and you have $50 worth of groceries. So that's like one trip to Publix. You can get a $50 fuel card for $40. So that's a 20% savings. So you could use that with your fuel points that you've accumulated from Kroger, and then use your discounted Shell card on top of that at a participating Shell station, and then you would compound your savings, and it would give you the regular shopping that you're already doing. You could get that and use those fuel points towards a gas tank that you've already gotten a discount on how you're going to pay. So if that makes sense. If it doesn't, leave a comment. I'll straighten that out at the end. So that is a way that you can just work that system, and it's not nothing wrong with it. It's just saving money. It's a strategy to stretch your dollar further, to try to bridge the gap between inflation and if your income isn't going up but inflation is, then just something to equalize the situation. So speaking of 2% inflation, so I have an idea for you that will save you as little as 2% or as much as I've seen 30% on retail. which is these gift card auction sites. So you can go on, an example would be Gift Card Granny and Card Pool, and you can sell if you need to get rid of one, or you can buy them at a discounted rate. So let's say, now Visas are hard to come by, Targets are hard to come by, and they're usually just 2%, but inflation is 2%, so you see we're equalizing things. So you pay whatever you don't pay the face value for it. If it's $100, you pay $98 for it. So you get a 2% savings. But some of them, like I saw Ann Taylor the other day, was a 30% discount. So if you like shopping at Ann Taylor, you can buy a $100 card, and you can buy that $100 card for $70. And then if you wanted to get some more clothes other than one piece, you could buy many different cards. And that's a huge savings. That's $30 for every $100. That's huge. I mean, so you have that reselling the gift card and purchasing it on auction. So if you're just joining, I'm talking about ways that we can save money, stretch our dollar, some strategies, some hacks to make a dollar go further. So I've talked about the prescriptions where you can pay cash, and the GoodRx app that'll help you search for pharmacies in your area that have the cheapest cash price, just in case your insurance makes you pay a higher price. And then even at that, Metformin 0 at Publix versus a $10 copay. 0 is better than 10. So, I'm good at math, folks. So anyways, and then the fuel cards programs where like with Kroger or not Albertsons, Smith's, you can use those to work for you. If you fill a prescription at Kroger, let's say that Kroger is your least expensive option in your area. If you fill a prescription at Kroger, they give you 50 fuel points per prescription. So now you would want to use something other than Metformin because it's free at Publix, but 50 points, do that twice and you've got 100 fuel points, and that's 10 cents a gallon. So if you got a big gas tank, that's a bonus for you. All right, so, and then the third one that I just mentioned is the gift card resale sites. So you could, essentially, you could take buy a $100 gift card off of a discount auction site for these, discount gift card site. You could do that, and then, I mean, my goodness, let's say you go to Starbucks once a day. Number one, you could buy it at Kroger, and like I said earlier, you could get those points, or you could buy it off of these gift card sites and get at least some kind of a discount. And I know I've seen World Market on there, I've seen Home Goods on there, just about any retailer that you can think of is on there. An average percentage that you're going to save off of those, not Visa types of things, an average percentage is anywhere from 8 to 15%. So you could, I'll just keep using Starbucks and Publix. I'll just keep using those as an example. But Starbucks, let's say you do that and you're able to find a 10% discount. Well, that's an extra day that you just got for free because you used that system. So basically, the point of the whole thing is to buy the gift card and then to go do the shopping and do the shopping off of the gift card. And nowadays it doesn't just have to be a physical gift card. It can be a electronic one that you can load on your card. So you have that. So you've got those 3 different things, and then that was 3, but I'll give you one more for a bonus because I said to myself, if I can get done within 15 minutes, I will give them a bonus tip. So here's your bonus tip. Use cash. If you're not going to get a gift card in advance and use that to your advantage and hack the system that way, then use cash. It is a published statistical fact that if you use a debit or credit card, any form of plastic other than a gift card, you're going to use 18% more. You're going to spend 18% more than you would if you used cash. So if you're going to the grocery store, you're going to Kroger, you're going to do the fuel card thing. If you go there and you spend $100, if you use cash, you'll spend $100. But if you were to use a debit card, you might spend $120, even if your budget's $100. Well, there, I just gave you a $20 off coupon. And really, that's an easy thing to do, especially if you budget. You just go yank it out of the ATM, or, you know, even whatever, use the envelope system and pull it out of your envelope before you leave, or, you know, whatever you do. But right there, if you use cash, then you're basically giving yourself that amount of money back. So if you use cash at the store, get the fuel points, use the fuel points at the pump. You can couple that with the Shell card, and then you pay cash so that you don't go over your budget, and you save yourself 18% by doing that. So that is my bonus tip. Thank you for sticking around to the end of it. And oh, by the way, I wanted to say thank you for joining with the bonus tip. Next week, though, I am very excited. I'm going to talk about arbitrage. And a lot of people know arbitrage as stocks and bonds, but I'm going to not bore you with all that. I will poke it in there because I know some of you want to hear about it, but I'll just throw it in there real quick and then the rest of it is going to be how you can personally take advantage of arbitrage without getting into the stock market. But I will also tell you about the other. No personal recommendations, though. So every week I am here Thursday, 1 o'clock Central Time. Next week it'll be, anyways, it's just Central Time. I give up. And please go check out, if this is helping you at all, like it, comment, share it with a friend, tag a friend, subscribe to the channel, all those things I appreciate very much, because every person that sees this is one more person that can be helped. And like I said at the beginning of the video, that is my purpose in life. So I really just want people to be helped out. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week when we talk about arbitrage. Bye-bye.